Hi, this is Danielle. Welcome to the free video for Monday, March 16th, 2020. So overall right now we've seen a ton of volatility in the market, and a lot of that is coming through the overnight gaps, especially with the limit up and limit down price moves. This right here was the overnight move last night. We had Fed Chair yesterday announcing that we would be having the start of QE, which we can argue if it's actually started before, which I think it did. And also the second emergency rate cut, which is, this is the first time since the financial crisis of 2008 that this is now happening. So what we're seeing currently is we're seeing a ton of overnight gaps. Now on this chart right here, I guess I can go to a higher time frame so you can see it a little bit easier. But essentially the gray areas are going to be the overnight price action, and the black areas are going to be the cash session. Now, one of the best trades that I've found throughout this time frame is going to be fading the gaps. So typically in an environment like this, we have really high emotion, okay? Very, very high emotion right now. And what happens is that on market open, the emotion on market open gets very extreme. All right. And so, for example, like today, you had a closing price right around here on Friday, which was close to 2,700. You had a gap lower that then went limit down with another gap lower, and that gap actually faded. So while you do have that initial spike down with that first 5-minute candle, it's typically always that first 5-minute candle that's going to spike lower. After that, the price action faded. The same thing happened the day before that. So in this example, this was a gap higher instead of a gap lower. So you have a gap higher overnight. And then that first 5-minute candle, you have buying, 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 and then boom, down it goes. So currently right now in this environment, I'm not focusing on swing trades for major equity plays right now. Really not looking at individual stocks. Primarily, I'm focusing on the indexes right here. And so right now what I'm looking at is, today we were down over 10% in the S&P, and I don't know where we're going to open up tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to gap higher or we're going to gap lower, but the entire idea here is to fade the gap. So if we do get a gap higher, likely we would see the same situation that we saw on Friday, where we had a gap higher, we got a little bit of a push on a 5-minute candle, and then boom, down she goes. Now conversely, if we get a gap lower, you typically get that push lower, and then it starts to fade. So essentially, look for those overnight gaps. They're providing quite a bit of opportunity right here in this overall market condition. And I'll be in the background in the options room doing that tomorrow. Also, I'd highly encourage you to check out my newsletter. Just wrote a newsletter today. You can go to www.5startrader.com and check that out. I've been getting a lot of questions about, hey, what are you doing in the market right now? When are you going to start buying the dip? This, that, and the other thing. You can read all about that in the newsletter at 5startrader.com. So beyond that, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.